Hey y'all, hey, I'm back here with another video. So I wanted to come today really fast to talk about Ari Lennox. So Ari had went on Instagram the other day and pretty much put something up saying how she wanted out of her contract with Interscope and Dreamville just because she was not happy pretty much with how things were going. And so I really wanted to talk about this because, again, she really spoke about marketing a lot. And I really just want to kind of touch on that part in particular. But I do want to start off by saying that, like, I do feel bad because here's the thing. Ari gets a bad rap, but it's kind of sort of her fault at the same time. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But I think that, like, because Ari, like she even said during her little 18-minute rant online, is that because she's so transparent, it makes people feel like she's like always complaining and just always doing something. Kind of like how Tyrese is, like how Tyrese is always online and you always see him like very emotional. They kind of treat her like that. And I think it's a little unfair, but at the same time, I can see why people like do that. So she talked about a couple of different things during her rant. Like I said, one of the things she talked about was, being the quote unquote face of mental health and how she doesn't really like that. And people, when she does interviews, think that about her. And when she goes, when people see her in the street, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you okay?" And she's like, "I'm happy." And like, when I'm talking about online. I'm talking about, no, she's like, "I'm talking about the music business, not my real actual life." And so that's just so annoying that's like, I'm like being branded pretty much as like a mental health person when that's not me. But see, here's the thing. I don't know if Ari has a team like outside of people that's connected to the label. It doesn't sound like it. Like if you're telling me that you're doing your own Google ads, then to me, and when you say that, do you mean like you yourself? Because if that's the case, that does not sound like to me like you have a team that's not connected to your label. Like, you need to have a team, like a PR slash publicist person that's not connected to your label. You need a manager. You need somebody that's like in marketing. You need a fucking stylist. You need a hair person. You need like a, like a little digital like marketing team underneath that marketing person. Like, you need your own team outside of your label so that when they're not doing what the hell it is that they're supposed to do, like if you just want to stay on the label because that's your thing, then you need to have people around you that's going to help you be able to like move and navigate until you get everything in the right spot. And specifically, if we're talking about from a PR publicist standpoint, you definitely need somebody, because if you had a good PR or a publicist, that person would be able to tell you, "Hey, hon, so I hear what you're saying. I get it. You don't want to be the face of this, that, and the third. However, I'm telling you, from a PR and a publicist standpoint, we're going to have to change some things around about how you actually present yourself. If you do not want that to be like your quote unquote brand or how people see you, then there's things we need to change. So maybe you can still go on live, but we need to talk about it before you do it. Or we need to set these boundaries behind it. Or we need to change your diction. We need to change your energy. We need to change the way hell that should look. Like just your whole presentation. That's what a PR and a good publicist is going to do for you. So that you're not presenting yourself in a way that you don't want to be. You, like you said, you are just talking, and then being confused as to why everybody views you a certain way, hun. That's because you have blinders on, so you're unable to look from the outside looking in. That's why you need somebody like that. And maybe Ari truly just doesn't have, I'm going to assume, maybe the money. She was just saying not that long ago that she was having trouble paying rent. But the point of the matter is that you should have been had that established a long time ago. You should have been, even if you don't want to be independent, you need your own team, hun. You really, really do, because they would have saved you from a lot of this nonsense. A lot of this. They would have been able to shield you and cover you and help you in a lot of different ways that it doesn't seem like you really have help at the moment. I also want to say that sometimes I feel like Ari complains about things that like, it's just kind of the music business. Like, not to say that it's right or wrong, but it's just like, okay, when she talked about how there was something that they shot. I don't know if she said they shot a music video or something like for Smoke, but it was something that they shot. And she said they did the whole thing and then they had put it up. And then she said she didn't like it, so she wanted it to be pulled down. And they just didn't do it. Like, they still let it come out and they never like removed it or anything. And it's like, oh, like, why would you guys do that? Da, da, da. And it's just like, Ari, no disrespect, hun, but you're with a label. Technically, yes, all of the money that they spend is technically money that you have to pay back. However, you're not paying it on the front end. So if I think she was talking about a video, but let's just say it was the music video, right? If we shot this whole music video, that means we gotta pay for all of this shit. You, your team, again, your stylist, your hairdresser, lights, set, fucking background dancers, this person, PAs, we gotta pay for all that shit. We shoot all of it, we wrap it all up, and you come to us and say that you don't like it, so to pull it down. No. Absolutely the fuck not. And like you said later, Ari, as much as I love you, you are not Beyonce. Beyonce shot the entire Renaissance album, and like, as far as like a video, and scrape the whole thing because she ain't like it. She can do that. Sis, you cannot, unless you are willing to go independent, which you said you don't want to do. So the reason I can't really help Ari here is because if you're not willing to take a chance on yourself, if you're not willing to step out and do it on your own, then you are going to be at the mercy of the labels. And I don't work for a label, but as far as the marketing situation is concerned, shout out to Rory. Rory from the Rory and Maul podcast made me think about this. With my job, right? So I'm gonna put it as if like I worked in a label, right? This is how my job goes. So my job, I have a lot. Damn, I would have a lot of artists. I would have probably I would have maybe about 30 artists, right? I'm a marketing person. This is pretty much like my job, right? If I was in the music industry, I have 30 different artists that I have, right? And my job is to pretty much make sure that all 30 of these artists get the marketing and push and things like that, so that we can see return on like their singles and their music and whatever it is that they do. So just think, so from a high level, right? That's my job. So if I think about it in the way that Rory put it, right? From a prioritization standpoint, Rory is absolutely right. Soul is going to be on the bottom of that priority list. And what that means from a marketing standpoint is that you don't really get that much of a push, aka you don't get that many marketing dollars is the point. When you're low on a prioritization list, you don't get that much as far as marketing dollars is concerned. And when you don't get as many marketing dollars, you either A, have to get really, really creative on how you market that, or you just got to kind of take what you got and really just hope for the best. So when I think about it from that standpoint, yeah, I absolutely see in the grand scheme of things, how, not why, but like how Ari doesn't really get the push. She's not a priority for the label because they don't feel like soul music, and it's not just her, soul as a whole, unless you like somebody like Summer Walker or something, it's not. And even then, R&B is starting to be prioritized a little bit more, but the type of R&B and soul music that Ari makes is just not prioritized because they don't see the value in it. Higher ups don't see the value in it, aka they're not going to put the money in the marketing dollars behind it because they don't believe that they'll get a return on what they put into it. But the biggest thing that I always say when it comes to marketing is like, you're gonna get out of it what you put into it. So if you put nothing into a campaign or into an artist or into a product, you're not gonna get, your return is gonna be little. You're damn skippy. Unless the marketing people are very, very creative. So from an artist standpoint, if I'm working for a label, unless the artist is willing to like really work with me and do like some extra shit that the label, like that's outside of the label's forum, like we really got to get creative on how we're doing some shit around here with very little dollars. If that's not the case, and even then, you're pretty fucked. So I'm definitely with Ari when she says, like, why would I put out something that nobody knows about? And I'm with that. And I'm really just here to say, I truly appreciate, like, I went to school. I got my bachelor's in marketing. I got my MBA, with the focus on marketing. And I just feel like people really underestimate like the power and the job of marketing. All of these layoffs that's gone on the last couple of years, especially in the music industry, I feel like we're starting to see the fallout of when you remove people like that away from the business. It's really an important job. It's more important than most people probably even give it credit for. And it's not an easy job. I love the fact that Ari said, bro, I'm out here doing Google ads myself. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. It's a hard fucking job. Do you know how hard it is to have to pretty much sell the masses on a product or a person or an idea or a concept of something? That shit's not as easy as people may think it is. There are billions and billions and there are millions and millions and billions and billions of products in the world. And you literally, your job in marketing is to cut through the noise. There's 10,000 ketchup bottles. How the hell do we make ourselves Heinz? You're Ari Lennox. Unfortunately, you're one of many, 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 many sole acts right now. You got a little bit of notoriety because, of Shea Butter Baby, your connection to Dreamville and J. Cole, but Summer Walker is here. SZA is here. Hell, Coco Jones, Victoria Monet was here. How does Ari Lennox, how does the marketing department help market Ari to where she cuts through the fucking noise? That is y'all job as a label, and I'm not mad at her for being upset about that. That's y'all job. Her job, like Rory said, shout out to Rory, is to create the music. Your job is to make sure that it gets to the right ears. And the thing about Ari is that she already has a base. That's the annoying part. Like she said, how is it that I have 700,000 subscribers or whatever on YouTube, and literally I think she said like a third or 3% of them know that my music is coming out. Like, even if they don't want to hear it and press play, the fact that they do not know that it's coming out. And like she said, she was like, I literally have to use Instagram to keep myself afloat. That's sad. Instagram, obviously, and social media as a whole is very powerful, but she shouldn't be holding on because I don't follow Ari. So what if I don't follow her? How would I know? I'm with Ari. Like, hashtag bring marketing dollars back. Hashtag bring freaking artist development back. Bring that back too. But again, I don't like to come to people without solutions, right? So if it was up to me, and Ari is one of my freaking artists, if she's willing to work with me and put the dollars behind, if we could take whatever the label, this is what we would do. I would sit down with Ari and I'm going to lay out my plan for her. And I'll be like, look, this is how much it's going to cost altogether. This is how much the label was willing to give. Are you willing to cover the difference so that we could push this? If not, cool. But that means that we just got to kind of hit our main things, right? So if this is the marketing plan that I'm laying out for Ari. Okay, so Ari, we got a lot of things that we got to do. You got an album coming out. Your single Smoke is coming out. We got to hit a lot of different targets here, right? So because Ari is R&B/soul, we need to hit those markets in particular. So where are those people really going to be? So let's start off. I know she said she did the Terrell show. Excellent, excellent, wonderful, 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 great. We're definitely going to start there. We're going to need you to go to the Breakfast Club, do an interview there. We're going to need you to go see Angie Martinez. We need you to go there. We need you to go see Big Boy. We need you to do that. And something else that you really could have did that really would have got Ari probably some traction is if she actually would have sat down with Joe Budden. I know she has a problem with him, but I feel like that gives even more of a reason why she should have did that. I think that interview would have did numbers if she would have sat with him. Bitch, and also Ari being as sexual as she is, like she's a very sexual person in her music. Let's get you to sit down with Carisha on Carisha, please. Let's get you to sit down with Poor Minds. Let's get you to sit down with, hell, even Angela Yee on Lip Service. Let's get you on the Colors, YouTube Colors performance. That's a great platform for people that sing and R&B acts. And then we're going to take you through the late night racket. We're going to take you to, I probably would take her to Fallon. Probably to Fallon. Maybe Fallon and Kimmel, and that's about it. But I'm cool. We could really just do Fallon, and that's it. You could do R&B Money podcast again. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't mind. And then as far as online is concerned, right? Oh, and also we going to send your ass overseas so you can do like On the Radar and maybe like one or two other places over there, right? From an online perspective, we about to flood. So Baller Alert, Neighborhood Talk, Shade Room, Jasmine Brand. Those four right there. We need them people covered. We need to be buying ad spots on those people's platform, and we need to be running it weekly leading up to your shit. So not just like your singles and stuff, but promoting your actual interviews and things that you got going on. We're also obviously we're gonna flood the shit out of Twitter. As much as Ari likes to be on Instagram or whatever, we need to hop on and do a Ask Ari like we could do on Twitter. Or I know Ari is really good at like making songs up on the spot. We could even do something like that. And then obviously, you know, we gonna do our Google ads. Bitch, I'll make your ass hop on Twitch if we need to. If I needed to. If I needed to make you hop on Twitch, that's what I would do. But if I'm your marketing person, that's how we handling this. And we gonna go off of, and if you feel like if the label don't want to put up the money to help us, because, you know, I know a lot of that costs a lot of money. I know I'm saying all of that, but all of that costs money. It costs travel and for people to go here and to there. But we can still cut that down, I think, enough to where you can maybe hit like 2 or 3 spots up interview-wise. That's very impactful. Everything else, I feel like you can just really do a strong, heavy online campaign and really just get your point across. But all of that to say is like, give the soul girls and the R&B girls their marketing dollars. Like, please invest in R&B. Invest in soul. Invest in black girls. But y'all gonna comment, tell me what you think. Come on, bye.